Resurrection. The narthex is what we call the vestibule or the foyer. It's a beautiful space, but the ceiling is very high, so it's kind of echoey in here. And I am in front of just a few of the gifts that our church folks have brought in for this year's Angel Tree drive that we do through the Salvation Army. So every year we fight over the ornaments. We never have enough ornaments, and it is the sign of a beautiful and generous parish that our folks actually fight over getting to have an ornament. We get more every year, and they disappear every single year. And I always have somebody that's upset because they didn't get one, which is a great problem to have. And so on Friday, this very Friday, in just a few days, 2 days as a matter of fact, Tom Clark and Kelly Ernst will come up here and they will start loading things up with Sarah Rosenberg and a couple of other folks, and they will take all of these gifts to the Salvation Army, where they will put all of our gifts into their warehouse along with all of the other gifts that the good folks of Nashville and Franklin have, and Brentwood and everywhere else have brought together this year. And the warehouse, which is a bajillion square feet, it's a huge space, and it will be chock full of little piles of presents. And each one of those little piles represents a child who does not have enough. And I don't mean enough Christmas presents, I mean enough. Food to eat, clothes to wear. And if we learned anything by the lesson last Sunday, the last Sunday of the church year, it was that Jesus will ask us on the last day what we have done to feed the poor and to clothe the naked. And if we have not done that, that it's just like we haven't done it to Jesus himself. But if we have, it's also just like we have done it for Jesus himself. So every one of those little piles, which are just thousands and thousands of little piles representing children who are right here. These are not hypothetical, theoretical children that are spread out all over the world, like we say there are starving children in whatever country the starving children are in these days. These are our children. These are folks right here that live and work and pray and play among us. They are our neighbors in the most literal sense, and every year we do this along with so many, many other churches and organizations to try to make a dent right here at home in with the problem of poverty. So our youth group always signs up to go and work at the Salvation Army event. Now I want to say something kind of blunt to you, and that blunt thing is we don't have a lot of folks signed up for that this year. My own family is not signed up for it yet. We will, but we have not yet. So if your family is like my family, it's time to sign up for that. This is a very important service ministry that our youth participate in every single year. It's very important. It's important that we teach our children how to do for others and that we show them how to do for others. And this is a great way to do that. So if your children or your family has not signed up to go and help sort through presents this year, we have actually a fairly exclusive spot. Not everybody is allowed to get in and work in the warehouse, the Salvation Army warehouse. But our youth group has been such a help in times past that they reserve spots for our kids to go. So we need to fill up those 20 spots and all get in there to work. Sunday is the first Sunday of Advent. It's starting to feel like Advent around here. We're getting out the garland and hanging the wreaths and putting greenery in the church. We won't have flowers. We'll have greenery until we get to that explosion of beautiful Christmas flowers on Christmas Eve. And we'll count down the days. And you know how we do that. We do it every single year. We wait. And it reminds us in that waiting, it reminds us that Christians are people who do that. Christians are people who wait. In fact, that is one of the markers of being Christian, is that we wait. Jesus promised the Hebrews a land of their own, and they waited. He promised Abraham a great nation, and he waited. He promised that the Messiah would come, and we waited. He promised Mary that she would bear a child, and she waited. and he has promised us that he will come again. And so we wait. We wait in faithfulness and patience and hope for the day that Jesus is coming, when much of the world has lost its patience and doesn't believe anymore. We keep saying, Christ will come again, and it will be worth waiting for. Don't lose your patience. Keep alert. Keep awake. That's what we'll talk about this Sunday. And wait for the Lord who has come once and will certainly come again. I love you. Tonight we'll have Wednesday night programming, but it will not be like it normally is. We'll have dinner at 6 o'clock, and then we'll have our Advent fair where we will sit in fellowship. We'll make Advent wreaths. We'll drink cookies. We'll eat cookies, and we'll drink hot chocolate and do some things like that. Open to all ages. I'm not very artistic, so Kim makes our Advent wreath for our house, and she does a pretty good job. If you're not very artistic, there will be artistic people there to make a wreath for you or to show you how to make one to have for your house. It's a great Advent reminder to have sitting on the kitchen table, in the dining room, on the coffee table in the living room, wherever you put your Advent wreath. But you know, if you're Episcopalian, and maybe if you're not, you ought to have an Advent wreath, right? It'll remind you what we're doing this season. So I love you. I'll see you tonight. We'll make some Advent wreaths, and then I'll see you again on Sunday. And now I'm going to try to figure out how to turn this camera off.